and welcome back to our podcast. I think we're going to call it something like irrelevant, because campus ministry, and no one really cares. And we say that tongue-in-cheek, but we're back, Emilee and I, and we're going to be talking about summer movies, or top 5 summer movies that came up while we were in college.
Yes.
So, I am super old in comparison. And so you probably have never heard of my movies.
Very likely.
How many movies out of my list do you think you have heard of?
Heard of? 3.
3. How many do you think you've watched?
1.
Just 1.
I would honestly not be surprised.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see what that looks like then.
What about mine?
I will guarantee that I have seen 4 of your movies.
Okay.
And probably heard of 4.
Okay.
I'll back that up. I'll say 3.
I've
seen 3, heard 4.
All right.
Okay. So the way we'll make this work whenever we do a top list is we'll just alternate. So you do your 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2,
okay.
1. And we'll just talk about it for a second.
Okay.
And by second, probably like a minute.
Okay.
All right. So you were going to school in Ohio.
I was going to school in Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee, at Lee.
Yep.
Okay. And so Tennessee, what years are your movies
2011 to 2015.
Right, and so these are summer movies only.
Yes.
So these are our opinions. We don't want people being nasty.
Yes.
And we realize that a great movie may have come out in November.
Yes.
It doesn't count for this list.
Or October.
Or October, yes. Behind the scenes, Emilee was very upset that some of her movies came out in October that she wanted to talk about, but I had to remind her that October does not count as the summer.
Ripped off.
Yeah, exactly. So, why don't you go ahead with your 5th one?
So this is 2011. I will confess, I love chick flicks, I love romantic comedies, I love movies that are based in cities.
Yeah, way to break the mold on all that.
So my number 1, in terms of chronology, I Don't Know How She Does It, starring Sarah Jessica Parker.
Stop it.
Based off a book, just like running around, she's a working mom, she's doing all these crazy things, she is running to New York every weekend. It is just an adorable little movie. I happen to love it. I love the fast-paced New York life. Any movie that gives me a glimpse into that. And there's romance.
So what's the name of the movie?
I Don't Know How She Does It.
I Don't Know How She Does It.
Literally.
Never heard of it. Mm-hmm. So why should I watch it? Because the way you describe it, it sounds like the worst movie for me.
So
again, we're doing top movies, not
it would give you
movies.
An appreciation for women who are balancing careers and families and so forth.
Yeah, that's my life.
So watch it.
I appreciate my wife.
So watch it.
Okay. So this is one that you recommend.
Absolutely. And it's a feel-good movie.
Okay, great. So we're going to be, I guess, super stereotypical here. So my number 5 came out. So I went to Virginia Tech, and I was there in college during the summers of 03, 04, and 05. And I remember seeing this movie. I was so disappointed by the other 2. It actually hurt me. And so because I'm such a massive fan of this franchise, I decided I was going to go anyway and watch this movie. And I was happy-ish with the movie. Looking back, I remember being like, oh, this isn't nearly as terrible as the others. Revenge of the Sith, the 3rd Star Wars movie, I still like it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And maybe it's because my expectations were so low for the prequels, for the other 2, especially Attack of the Clones. It was just so terrible that I was like, hey, you know what? There's actually lightsaber fights that make sense. Mm-hmm. You have the whole reveal. Now, the reveal of Darth Vader, spoiler alert, Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader, if you didn't know that. I guess it's now a 30, 40-year-old spoiler.
I didn't know that.
You did not know that? Well, good. See, we're helping you out. Have you heard of
Star Wars? Yes.
Have you seen?
I have
Revenge
seen
of the Sith?
I have seen the first 3 Star Wars.
Okay, wait, the original trilogy?
First, yeah, no, I've seen the original trilogy.
But you have not seen any of the prequels.
I have not yet seen the prequels.
Okay, so you should see. I would skip the first 2.
Okay.
And I would just go to Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
I would be open to that.
Great.
I do not proudly own the fact that I have not seen the prequels.
You're proud of that?
I do not proudly own that fact.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I am very open to seeing the prequels.
I would skip the first 2.
All right. I would.
Unless you're like feeling like really great about yourself and you want to, maybe it would be you don't feel you have a bad day, and you're like, hey, what could be worse than today? And then you watch this movie, and then you realize you didn't crush everyone's childhood.
They really were that bad.
The first 2 were terrible. The reveal of Darth Vader is really terrible. Because he does the no, and that's how like we get introduced to Darth Vader. It's really lame.
Okay.
Really terrible. And that's in this movie. But it's okay.
I would see it. I'd see it.
You're number 4.
So number 4 is a comedy starring Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, if I remember correctly. It's The Internship. So heartwarming, so adorable. You gotta have respect for these guys who are like, they're older and they are like trying to internet Google and they are just flopping.
So they're like 40 years old.
Yes, they are.
They're older.
They are old.
So all of our audience who's 40 years or older,
I'm so sorry.
Older.
I'm so sorry. It is so entertaining. They are just so authentic, and I loved it. It's hilarious. I was cracking up the whole time. It's just like a go-to movie.
Yeah, it was funny. Comedy's so subjective, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the problem with comedies. Is what's funny to you is clearly not funny to me.
Oh, really? You don't like The Internship?
It wasn't that funny.
I loved it.
I can tell it's on your list.
It just made me smile.
Wow. You know what's interesting? My number 4, it's got Ben Affleck in it. Dodgeball.
Oh.
Because I am overly competitive.
Okay.
So I've been told.
Okay.
And I'll probably put up a picture of me playing dodgeball in Brazil. Apparently before the game even started, I was being a ham. Looking like I scored a goal. You know, the World Cup is happening now. So I'm like, my hands are up and all. So I'll put that up. But Dodgeball is a funny movie. Have you seen Dodgeball?
I have not seen Dodgeball.
But you've heard of it?
I have heard of it. Not my comedy.
See? Comedy.
Not my comedy.
Yeah. It's like super competitive.
No, thank
Underdogs.
you.
Do you dislike underdogs?
I do love underdogs.
Apparently not, because this is the ultimate underdog.
I mean, that's what The Internship is all about. It's the underdogs.
No, literally, I think the tagline for this movie is the underdog movie, and you clearly dislike underdogs.
I need to expose myself better.
There you go.
Okay, I'm open to it.
Number 3.
There's absolutely no way you have seen this movie.
Okay.
I may lose respect for you if you have seen this movie.
Oh, wow.
But I personally, I remember seeing it in the theater and just crying.
And crying. So if you're looking for something to cry about, there you go.
The Katy Perry movie.
No.
Oh, so good. It follows her.
Stop it. By the way, we have not told each other our lists yet. So this is really the first reaction of the Katy Perry movie.
So it follows her on tour. However, this is very interesting. Katy Perry has a very religious upbringing. She was raised in a very Pentecostal home. She could not eat Lucky Charms when she was younger.
That is a crime. How else? Like, I think true Americana childhood is eating Lucky Charms.
Yeah, so she missed out on that. So it follows her. It follows her. It follows her faith journey, which I think is really interesting. She's going through a lot of personal crisis during this time, and you see her bawling before she goes on stage, which is just like the cool. I mean, it's just it is literally behind the scenes into Katy Perry's life and faith and relationship. Really interesting. You should really look at her faith.
for everyone that arrives, I can guarantee you, we will not be having a Katy Perry movie night.
I would be open to hosting one.
Okay, well there you go. If you would like to go and hang out with Emilee and have a Katy Perry,
You could learn a lot from her journey.
yeah, my number 3 is a movie you have seen. I guarantee it.
Okay.
This main character also never was able to eat Lucky Charms
Okay.
because he was lost
Okay.
and a fish.
Yeah, Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Of course. Who hasn't seen Finding Nemo?
Exactly. So Finding Nemo, great movie, heartfelt, animated. I still saw it when I was in college.
Yeah.
It might have been on a date.
Oh.
But this is, I love this movie.
You
Especially
can't-
now with kids. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
Finding Dory.
That was okay.
Okay.
It was nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of same beats as Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Nothing beats Finding Nemo.
I would agree. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't say nothing beats Finding
It
Nemo.
is one of Pixar's best.
Moving on.
Okay.
I would put it in maybe my top 10.
Of Pixar?
You have all the Toy Stories.
I say Finding Nemo beats Toy Story.
Like the whole franchise.
Maybe not the first one.
Really? Like the second one, when Jesse, spoiler alert, when Jesse talks about being left,
Okay.
like that made me cry.
I still think Finding Nemo touched me better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. We will do a top 10 Pixar. I came up with another topic.
So my next movie, because I have to, branch out.
From comedies and rom-coms.
Rom-coms. It's a little action, but still a little bit, heartwarming. San Andreas Fault.
Stop.
The Rock comes in to literally.
Way.
It's a summer movie, and I saw it.
I'm going to find better summer movies.
I loved that movie. I thought it was so good. If I could have put Taken on the list, that probably, Taken 2, may have gone above this one.
Taken 2.
San Andreas Fault was... I remember seeing that right after I had just graduated.
Okay.
Great movie.
And that is...
I saw it with my mom. We were having a great day. Girls' Day.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm glad that you got to see that movie.
And have quality time with my mom.
And it is your second.
This is
number 2.
Okay, this is going in chronology.
No, this was going in rankings.
All right,
You have just put San Andreas.
Well, if I could redo it.
We'll let you redo it at the end.
Katy Perry might come first. All right.
Stop it. Stop it. No.
So that's my number. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
So last one.
Well, actually, I'm going to do my number 2. Is that okay?
Oh yeah. And then
you don't get to do 5, and I get to do 4.
and then we have our last one.
Yeah. So you went first, so that's how that works.
That makes sense.
When we alternate. My number 2 was Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Have you seen?
I saw Spider-Man.
Like with Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
To the second one.
I haven't seen the second one.
That one is so much better than the first
one. Is Kirsten Dunst in that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to see that.
So much better. Heartfelt villain. The villain you actually feel sorry for.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing movie. So I highly recommend going and see it. I think it's the best one out of the 3.
Okay.
For me, it goes Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, and then that disaster of the third one.
Yeah.
Which just killed the franchise.
Yeah. So sad.
Yeah, so Spider-Man 2, lots of fun. Heartfelt villain. Good story arc. All the good stuff that you want in a superhero movie.
I would see Spider-Man 2 in a heartbeat.
Now you're number 1.
Honestly, I loved this movie because I loved the franchise.
Katy Perry.
But I will say I loved the first few better than this one. However, Jurassic World was awesome.
Yeah.
It was Jessica Chastain, is that her name?
Yeah.
She did
doesn't matter, we can mispronounce names.
She did an amazing job, I thought. Literally running around, being chased by dinosaurs in heels.
Yeah, so realistic.
No, it was so good. What's his name?
Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt. He is just, yeah.
I'd like to apologize to all of our listeners as Emilee's clapping right into the microphone.
I'm sorry, Chris Pratt.
If you're wearing headphones, I really apologize.
Chris Pratt. is worthy of that. He did a wonderful job.
Yeah. Chris Pratt is great.
Yeah.
I like him better in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
I think that's fair.
But it didn't come out in the summer.
Yeah, doesn't count. Jurassic World is awesome. Go see it. No, well, there's another one coming out. It's already out.
That one apparently is not good.
Yeah, so see this one. See the one that came out in 2015.
Or go see the terrible one. If you haven't seen the first one, go see the terrible one, and then go remind yourself why Jurassic Park movies were decent.
Yeah, they were.
By seeing the first
exceptional.
Jurassic World. I guess technically a fourth one.
Yeah.
All right, my number one kicked off a franchise, a trilogy even of movies that is revered to this day. Christopher Nolan directed Batman Begins.
I did see that.
Yeah, see, there you go, we win. So Batman Begins, again, great Batman.
Yeah.
Not a great Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale. That's okay. But the action, the origin story, and you get a little bit more of the training. That got some Liam Neeson. We couldn't get Taken, but we could get him in.
Nah, he's better, and I admit that.
Yeah, this is a better movie than Taken. I will go ahead and say it.
I can accept that my standards are low.
Definitely better than Taken 2.
Taken 2 is just, that's fair. Batman Begins is really good.
So this is a little insight into us. I'm a nerd who likes mainly comic book movies and dodgeball.
And I like rom-coms that are based in New York City.
And the Katy Perry movies.
Oh, and I love celebrities. So...
Yeah, so I think what we really should do is go ahead and make the thumbnail. I'm deciding between the dodgeball picture or the Katy Perry movie poster.
Oh, I would absolutely go. You have got to see the Katy Perry movie. You guys would be so impressed about how... the depth that is exposed. I mean, how interesting. What an interesting childhood she had. So interesting. It's crazy.
Emily Snyder, Katy Perry apologetic.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening. We hope you've had fun with us as well. And we will look forward to seeing you in a week.